Winston and the Worry Rock by Matthew Rome, illustrated by the great Alexandra Bolton. In loving memory of Tammy Rome. Winston understood what it meant to feel different, so he went out of his way to befriend and comfort those who were considered outcasts at his school. If someone was eating all alone at a cafeteria table, Winston was the first person to joyfully join them. With an expansive smile and a warm word, Winston would soon brighten the gloom. Because Winston was in a wheelchair, he often thought of himself as different. Sometimes he even thought of himself as broken or incomplete. At nighttime, while lying in his bed alone, Winston would worry a great deal about being made fun of because of his wheelchair. On one particular evening, Winston was especially overcome by his worries of being different. Not even his cherished dog, Mr. Snugglesworth, could cheer him up. Winston's mind just wouldn't rest. So he softly scooted into his wheelchair and went down the hall for a drink of water. The trusty Mr. Snugglesworth followed close behind. As Winston moved toward the bathroom, a curious thing began to happen. Suddenly, his hallway was transforming into an enchanted forest. Winston was overcome with peace and joy. He was not afraid at all. In a flash, Winston and Mr. Snugglesworth found themselves facing an old wooden sign that read, "Worry-Free Forest." Magnificent maple trees and fascinating flowers surrounded them. Before long, forest creatures of all colors and forms cozied up to Winston and Mr. Snugglesworth. Both the boy and his dog were swept up in feelings of safety and friendship. The forest was brightly beaming with love. With the spirit of adventure in the air, Winston and Mr. Snugglesworth began to move down the trail. As they glided through the forest, a convoy of forest creatures followed close behind. Winston was in awe at the breathtaking sights he met with, as he and Mr. Snugglesworth thoroughly enjoyed the companionship of all the amazing animals. Up ahead in the distance, a crystal-clear pond sparkled like 1,000 stars in the sky. "Positive Path Pond! That sounds spectacular, Mr. Snugglesworth," said Winston as he read from the guidepost next to the water's edge. Just as Winston spoke, an even greater spectacle caught his eye. It was a beautiful and massive weeping willow tree, the only one of its kind in the whole entire forest. A crimson cardinal began to fly towards Winston from the tall weeping willow. The breathtaking bird drew closer and closer until it was nearly overhead. Winston was unable to speak as the cardinal began its gentle descent like a feather falling through the air. The cardinal landed right in Winston's lap and gracefully placed a rolled-up scroll upon him. The scroll was tied securely and held a beautiful jade gemstone in its center. Winston unraveled the paper and read the following lines. "You are very special. You are truly one of a kind. Tell your worries to the gemstone, and treasures of the heart are what you'll find. Love the worry tree." "Treasures of the heart? What do you think that means, Mr. Snugglesworth?" questioned Winston to his loyal companion. Winston and Mr. Snugglesworth gazed at the deep green rock in awe and wonder. "Well, Mr. Snugglesworth, it says here to tell the stone my worries. Here goes nothing." "I am afraid that I am different. I am afraid there is something wrong with me." The gem began to vibrate softly. Then it began to buzz. It even doubled in size. Winston looked at Mr. Snugglesworth. Mr. Snugglesworth looked back at Winston, neither one having any idea what would happen next. The green rock glowed and projected a vision above it, similar to a magic crystal ball. Winston could see all the times he went out of his way to show kindness towards others. It was like a high-definition movie screen, only far more real and much more alive. Not only could Winston see the events of his past unfolding, but he could actually experience how he made others feel. He could experience the joy and compassion he brought to those who were heartbroken. Winston was beginning to see just how special and valuable he was. His fears of being different were now evaporating like dew on morning grass. As soon as the visions ended, the beautiful red cardinal swooped down and softly scooped the green rock up, flying it back to the worry tree. Then Winston heard a voice. It was none other than the magnificent weeping willow. "Winston, my boy, when the world sees only what is different or unusual about a person, you see the truth. You see their beauty. You have the heart of a king and a lion, all in one. You are brave beyond what you know. You are truly one of a kind. Everyone is a treasure, Winston, especially you." Winston felt a tidal wave of love wash over him as many beautiful colors sprang forth from the worry tree. In the flipping of a light switch, Winston found himself back in his room with Mr. Snugglesworth fast asleep at the foot of his bed. "Did I just dream all that?" Winston whispered aloud. Despite his questioning, Winston knew what he experienced was very real. He smiled to himself and cuddled into the covers. Just as he did this, a piece of rolled-up paper on the nightstand caught Winston's attention. It was the very same scroll from Worry-Free Forest. And wouldn't you know it, there was a green gemstone inside. The green rock! I knew it wasn't a dream, Winston thought triumphantly. He unraveled the letter to find a very important message awaiting him. It read, "You are brave beyond what you know. You are truly one of a kind. Everyone is a treasure, especially you. Love, the Worry Tree." The end.